Hey everyone, this is LuckySevenDX. Welcome back to Let's Play Jade Cocoon 2. In the last episode, we met a guy in Windbound 1. We got ourselves our third Divine Beast, so on and so forth. This guy is coming straight at me, so it looks like we're going right into a battle early on. But here's the team I have, by the way, our new ceiling over there and whatnot. So, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, I'm going to be focusing on the fire and the wind sides early on, and eventually I will get to using the earth side, and then I'll probably focus on the water side last. So just kind of a heads up. Also, my intention is to get 2 of every type of divine, as in like 2 fire, 2 wind, 2 water, 2 earth for my final team. So just a heads up on that. Anyway, meet our first bug type. These guys actually make pretty potent mages in my opinion, and they also come with the magic for... There's basically a magic for each type of fire, water, earth, wind. So this is the wind version of magic. Each one of them has like, a magical spell that they all have. So this is the wind version of magic, which also means usually when you see a divine beast with a move that we don't have the Kalma for this guy, that usually means the Kalma for it will actually be available on this floor, or on this island, or the next, or somewhere in this section. So we're going to have to keep a lookout for a bug-type Kalma, which also means, by the way, we are actually going to start fighting Kalma in this episode, which is pretty exciting. So we actually should be running to our first Kalma quite soon, and that'll be pretty cool. In fact, he's right here. And he's angry. So when you find a human in an area like this, usually if it's a wide open area, it'll be a normal human, by the way. If it's a sort of enclosed area like this one, it's almost always going to be a Kalma. So you can almost even tell the difference before you even talk to them. But as you can see, it's the type of guy we just fought, and now we have to fight a slightly more difficult version of them in order to basically gain access to be able to merge with it to get your Divine Beast that move. So if I ever wanted to teach someone wind magic, I now will have the ability to do so, thanks to getting this Kalma soon. So that's basically how it works. It's pretty handy, but you'll see as we go out through the game. So we'll be fighting a lot of these Kalma. It'll be pretty cool. Just gonna get a scooter in here to get a quick thing. As you can see, by the way, wind beasts do tend to outspeed my other monsters. However, my wind beast did, I believe, outspeed it, and I think from this range it should be a kill, and it is. So wind divine beasts, the reason I'm definitely raising them earlier over earth ones is it's almost always handy to have some strong monsters that can go first and secure kills before the opponent gets another chance to attack. So it is actually very useful for that reason. Anyway, as you can see, our wind divine beasts actually getting levels pretty fast and gaining back on us here, so or getting on the other 2 again. So really all that grinding really didn't amount to much in the end, I guess. And there's this guy. This is an Alco. In case you remember from last episode, we took on a side quest to find some Alco Poopy, aka Alco Scat. So when you find a divine beast like this in an ogre vine that doesn't have an egg, that usually means it's going to be involved in the quest you're undertaking. So this guy should actually drop the scat when we're done. However, this guy is actually the evolved version of the one that causes sleep. So if we had chosen the sleep monster, it would eventually evolve into a creepy helicopter thing. Yeah, seriously. So basically, by the way, in terms of like wild divine beasts, they will always have the move that their Kalma and their babies would give. So that's basically how it works. So all of these types of monsters will always use sleep moves. All of those kind of bugs we were fighting earlier will always have a version of the lightning magic. All of the ones that cause blind will always have moves that cause blind when you're fighting them in wild. Obviously, you can give your own individual divine beasts different moves. Please don't fall asleep. Ironically, it's kind of funny that my wind divine beast wasn't affected, but my water one happened to fall asleep. They generally are more resistant to sleep status and other status effects, so in general, they don't necessarily have that happen too often. But in that case, they did. So, water divine beasts are resistant to special attacks, but they are not immune to them. Keep that in mind, it's important. So yeah, we pick up some Alco Poop! We got some poop! We got some poop! First quest complete, and it was about getting poop. I ran into a guy, and I wasn't even paying attention. So one of these guys... Do I even need to keep this in? Probably not. And battle complete. As you can see, my ceiling is actually getting kind of low on MP. Probably because he's probably fought a slight bit more than most people because I've had him finish off a couple battles. Do I have any Mellow Elixirs? I do have one. might actually be worth giving to him so he has the MP. I definitely am going to purchase more Mel Elixirs once I get out of these dungeons. Once I start having some actual money, I'll definitely be buying a lot of those. We're going to find a lot of them anyway. And we have a battle. This guy is a Mao trainer, which is a guy we have. You'll often find battles, optional battles.
I welcome a battle against a Mao beast hunter.
You serious?
Oh, I'm talking.
You might be crying later. Well, here goes.
Mao beast hunters are weird. And you'll find a lot of these optional battles. I'm going to be doing all of them because you actually do get things for completing these battles. You'll actually unlock other divine beasts and so on and so forth. Or they'll give you eggs and stuff like that if you defeat enough of them. So they're kind of useful. This guy has 2 Earth Maos, a type that we don't have actually, so they're creepy little bunnies, aren't they? Anyway, Earth ones are always weak to Wind ones, so they will almost always have status effects happen to them. So this one's using a defensive spell. What's this other one going to be doing? A type of attack. This one is this. Yeah, is this the one that raises? Yeah, there's a type of Earth one that raises their attack as the more you use it. So a combination of defense and a thing that's going to be doing more offense as it goes is definitely a potent combination. However, the fact that I have him blinded is going to work out in my favor because it means he's going to be missing a lot of these attacks. As he then doesn't miss any of his attacks, blind is not doing a good showing. Usually it is almost always very consistent when it comes to not taking damage, but in this case, okay, now the one attack, I mean, the problem, I guess, with these early Beast Hunter battles is also that they're going to tend to run out of MP a lot faster. This is precisely why I have no corner ones right now, is because I really do rely on these switching formations in order to keep my MP high and not run out of MP during battle immediately. Because these early skills with our, these new divine beasts that are not very high in attack power or in a MP stat yet, they're gonna run out of MP to attack really quickly. So definitely be very, very careful about that. So anyways, another level up, always a good time.
You are quite skilled. That was a good match.
He didn't squeak.
So here is your reward.
I want him to squeak. Do a squeak. Anyway, you'll get these Mao medals.
Collect lots of them, and something good might happen.
Something good being basically you'll get free eggs for different types of divine beasts. Definitely something cool. Gives us some interesting other options. I don't know how many of them I'm going to end up using, but it definitely gives you some cool variety for killing these guys. So you can unlock some rarer types of monsters. So you actually see how many medals we have, by the way, in medals here. So we got our first medal! Yay! I'm not going to go for all of them in the game, because I'm not even sure how many there are. But I'm going to go for, however many I end up just getting naturally. It'll happen. So we'll definitely get some rewards from these along the way at least. So what else do we have? We have one of these guys!
Be prepared! No worries! Yeah, really!
Occasionally you'll find either a shop or a warehouse guy on here, so you can actually store the items you have. I'm not too worried about dying though, so I'm just gonna store that thing because I'm not really ever going to use it, and they're not even worth selling.
Yeah, really!
But you can use that to free up some space if you have some things you don't need. I'm not too worried about space right now, so whatever. You're kind of in the way. Where did I get the key spore? I got the key spore from the Mao one. Okay, so there was actually a key spore back there, I guess. Interesting. Can I get by you? Hey! Again! You see that, Pro Don? It's really hard to get around divine beasts that are in the way, but sometimes if you just maneuver yourself just right, you can do it. You can do it. So, as you can tell though, these areas definitely do take a while. Like, I'm already pretty fairly into the video. There's a new type of bug with a new type of spell. This one, I believe, will be lowering our defense as we go. So, also there's 2 of them now. So, more interesting sort of status effects if they're going to end up using it. Yeah, the Samakis and the whole Sama spell line basically lowers the defense of all your divine beasts, which is not really very good when you're just a wild one fighting it, but it is a very useful skill to have on your team. Not one I'm going to really worry about having early on, but one that I definitely will use at some point. Probably for like my late game team, like a final win skill to add. Because the defense down is very helpful, just not really early game. It's definitely more helpful when it comes to late game. Anyway, that blind's actually kind of working out here a little bit. Not that they were really doing that much damage to begin with. like I said, and these Divine Beasts in particular don't even have very good attack stats anyway. The basic attack is almost never ever really that good. So keep that in mind, I guess. I'm just gonna let him Ceiling finish this off because, well, Tamal kind of has decently low MP, so that takes care of that fight. I'll definitely, you know, skip out of any other ones that happen, unless it's the Kalma, which should be nearby. Maybe it'll even be in here? Look at that guess. Look at that guess. That was a darn good guess. I'm pretty proud of that one. So we get our first fight with, or it could be someone else. I mean, it could be someone else. It is actually someone else. So this is a different, this isn't even the one that we just fought. This guy actually causes poison status. So careful for these ones. They're definitely more physical attackers. So always good to get blind on a physical attacking type Divine Beast, because they are scary, and poison's not something you want to mess with. Poison, it will actually hurt your Divine Beasts even if they're not currently in your active formation. So that makes them really a pest, and it doesn't really go away for a long time, if ever. So getting poison on someone in battle can really, really wear someone down over time. It's actually fairly useful. But we'll see if I decide to use it. Luckily, I mean, we're not going to have to worry too much about poison here because we'll actually finish the battle here. And all status effects, besides death, will be cleansed outside of battle. Death, however, will not, so if your Divine Beasts do die, they stay dead. Unless you have a thing to revive them, which we will eventually get things to revive things, so our Divine Beasts. So there's that. Anyway, this Poison Cloud one will actually be very useful, though, because I'm actually going to be using that on someone as well. Because it does actually give a decent early game ability. That'll help out, so keep that in mind. There's that thing over here. There should be another Kalma around here somewhere, though, for that thing. Oh, this thing! We haven't seen one of these before. These you can throw in different things and get items for it, so just throw in 2 mugworts. They're very cheap in the shop anyway. And we end up getting a new item. We got a Mel's Elixir 1 out of it, which is actually kind of useful because I could definitely use MP recovery perhaps at some point. There's a lot of Spikebees over here, and I don't... Oh, okay, there's the end right there. So let's go. I guess we're going to have to go into Spikebee land. Maybe we can get past this one here if he goes the other way. Or if he goes around this way. I try to avoid battles when I can, because there's no reason to do all of them. And here's actually the one with the keys for.
I have looked into the literature, and major hints are...
What have you found?
Not exactly coming along as I expected.
Absolutely nothing.
I am certainly getting closer to the orb as I get deeper in the forest.
Well, we're with you too, so you're a rival. Why are you helping us?
I would be happier if you would call me active.
No, you're vague. See, you always get like a little blurb with the main characters. I mean, there's not too much story. It's a very simple story, but it's still cool to see them.
Well,
Why would you ask questions,
it doesn't
Kahu?
always go as well as one expects. Correctness is not always certain. There are many problems.
It's kind of the way research works, and life in general, really.
So one wants to bring it to the next. One also gets attached to the divine beasts one had before.
No, not really. I merge them all the time.
Is this going to take long?
That's why you never ask an absent-minded professor questions.
You had to go ask that question, didn't you?
Way to go, Kahu. Oh, we actually got an extra thing for it, though, so that's helpful. I believe this heals all HP and MP of Divine Beast. Yeah, it does. So it's sort of your Mega Elixir, I guess, of sorts. But there we go. That'll give us the Key Spore to this area. Give me Key Spore, thank you. And we can then head the door, but there is a couple other Orger Vines, and I like to be thorough and get all of them, because then you can get all the Kalma. My camera was not correct, and I ran into an enemy. We haven't seen one of these basic ones, though, so I guess I'll keep this one in, just because we only fought the Kalma version, we didn't fight the normal version. And I don't know why I threw this guy in to get poisoned. I was hoping I'd be able to go first and get this on him, but he's at low health, he needs healing so bad, and the poison's going to wear him down over time. That's never good. That was kind of a boo-boo on my part. I'm actually going to keep this guy in and do a little bit of healing here before I get through this, because he needs the heals a lot. If there is a Divine Beast directly in your way, you know what, I'm not going to worry too much about them. I can always heal off screen if I need to. The guys are kind of annoying. Die. So, basically, Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to heal him a bit. I was gonna say something, I don't remember what it was, but I did level up. We should actually start seeing evolutions fairly soon. We're getting to about the point where evolutions start happening. Oh, if you are gonna have to fight someone, like, looks like this guy is just in the way, we're gonna have to fight him. Always try to get the initiative just to make battles easier and make sure you take less damage. It's just always helpful. Plus, especially when you have wind types in this early situation, you can get an early status effect on the enemy and then not have to worry about his attacks. I know he's going to go for a Poison Cloud here, so I'm just going to go into my Water type so that I don't get poisoned, most likely, and I can also get a good healing off. And I probably should have cut this battle out, but it's pretty much already over because this guy is going to go over here and kill him. So, yeah, like I said, evolutions should start happening. They happen automatically. You can't control when they happen or at what level they do. It just seems that they're going to be about the point where we're going to start getting some of that going on. Some crystals out in the open here for some extra money when we get back to the area. And a book. Her Plex book sounds like it's going to cause confusion, most likely, I would imagine. And indeed, it does. So that might be handy for the future. We'll see. I'm hoping I can find that other... Often I might actually be going returning to areas after I complete an episode just to get the Kalma I've missed, because you won't necessarily always get all the Kalma on one run through the forest. So for those certain ones, especially early on, I might just quickly go ahead and grab those ones and, you know, cut and just get those battles in at the end. But for now, we're going to go to Windbound 4. Now, careful when you're in the fourth area of villain, because as you can see, there's a boss in this area. There's no indication exactly which Ogre Vine the boss is going to necessarily be in. So make sure your Divine Beasts are always ready for battle. In fact, that one over there kind of seems suspicious, so I'm going to head in this direction first. Because if I remember correctly, there might be a way to heal somewhere along the lines. Kind of creepy, sir. But there is another Divine Beast here, an Alco type, so it's not the one we're looking for. This should be something different. If I know what it's, I think it's going to be, yep, these things. These are actually the ones that contain the move that will cause confusion. Which is actually going to use. Luckily I didn't get inflicted by. I was hoping I could go first and inflict blind on him instead. I didn't even get the blind off though. Well, hopefully he's just going to do a normal attack. Yeah, that tends to be the pattern for these early Divine Beasts. They use their special attack first and then just go for a normal attack. This one's actually fairly potent. So, a little worrisome here. I'm going to get some healing in here and just let my Tamal go to work here, because Sealing is somewhat low on mana. In fact, I'm going to go get a second heal in here. I was hoping he'd use the Confuse this turn, but he didn't. Which makes me think he's going to use it this turn. So I'm a little worried about that. Please don't confuse me. Okay, no. I was wrong. I don't necessarily know all the patterns. It really would be helpful if one of my guys would evolve, though. Because an evolution right now would be oh so helpful. Please don't hurt yourself. Please don't hurt your... Oh! As you can see, when you evolve in battle, you gain full HP and MP, and you get the ability to remove status effects as well. So, thanks to that, I now have a guy who is not confused and can thus finish off this Kalma fairly easy. As you can see here, it's also a bit more powerful now. He's a rabbit thing now! Tamal has evolved. And right at such good timing, too. That was beautifully timed, Tamal. So yeah, like I said, I called evolutions are coming soon, and indeed they did. The other two should evolve, hopefully even during the boss, because that would be quite helpful for that to happen. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and continue on the forest. And that's the end right there, so there's going to be another thing, or there's going to be the boss is going to be somewhere in these ones up here. One of these two, I guess. I have to fight a battle regardless, so... Well, let's get into battle. You've seen these guys before, so I'm going to start cutting. Oh, here's another evolution going on. So Scooter evolves into... Creepy Happy Frog thing! Yay! These Divine Beasts look so weird, but I love them. I really do love them. They're just so silly looking! So, Sealing hasn't evolved yet. He probably honestly will during the boss. But that's going to finish this guy off. And there's yet another battle out of the way. So, more experience. Level 11. Everyone's level 11. Except, well, Scooter's now level 12. But let's not pay attention to that. So, occasionally, you know, they drop cool stuff like Flood Stones. That's pretty cool. You are not something, but you are a thing to heal all my health and MP. And I appreciate that. It's a one-time use thing like I mentioned. But that's okay. Wanted to get around this thing without fighting. I could escape, but actually these things don't really do much damage. It's the MP I'm worried about. And an evolution happens. I was about to cut, but I had a feeling he was going to evolve, and, well, there we go. Our third and final evolution, all right before the boss, which is so very convenient, because now my Divine Beasts are pretty much at their full strength for this upcoming battle. Anyway, I'll cut to the... I don't have a Divine Beast here. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I was like, what am I doing? And then I had to press circle. Actually, why am I even... No, I'm not even going to cut, because it's literally going to be like a 10-second cut, because he's going to go in, he's going to go first, and he's going to kill him. So, whoop-de-freaking-do. Really, that wasn't really a necessary cut. Anyway, level 12 for him, and this should be the boss in this one, because I think this is the only Ogre Divine left, so let's get started. You'll know it's the boss if you get a CGI cutscene. And indeed we do. It's boss time. Oh, man. So, we're going to wrap up the Wind Forest of this battle. We'll go back, we'll take care of a few things, and then we'll be getting this episode done. It's going to be a long episode again, but whatever. All these ones are going to be long episodes. This is how RPGs work. Pretty colors, pretty lights, pretty butterflies, except bright, very bright, and giant icky moth thing. Well, that's all sorts of ick. Ick. But alas, that's, how a lot of these bosses work. Now, actually, these bosses are going to actually be the fully evolved form of some type of monster in the dungeon. This one's actually the one that uses the defense down, I think. I'm not actually 100% sure, but this is the fully evolved form of something. It's kind of a giant grotesque looking moth thing, but yeah, especially if it uses a spell from that line of monster, probably gonna be one of those. It's a B-level spell though, that's gonna lower our defense by quite a bit. Luckily we have caused blind, so that's gonna help mitigate a lot of the, although it's not gonna help us against magic attacks. Ow. But these early bosses aren't terrible. I mean, you're not designed to be able to fight them super easily, so we're gonna let Tamal go to work. He's our main attacker here. Sealing is our secondary attacker. That's how it's going to be for most of the game, is Wind is going to be more of a secondary attacking formation. So he's back to being not blind. So I guess he's just going to continue to use spells though, so the blind isn't necessarily really useful here. That being said, other status effects like sleep almost would probably never work on a boss. So in general, that's why I prefer to use ones like that aren't necessarily as good, because they can be useful in every situation as opposed to just some. So we'll get a little bit of healing in and bring everyone back up to snuff, but these early bosses aren't terrible. These defense downs, by the way, can usually last for about 3 turns. Most status effects do, so you can actually, well, sleep's kind of indeterminate, but you can use that to your advantage when you're sort of calculating how things are going to go down, because you can, wow, that's doing a lot of damage. I can hopefully get in here first, though, and maybe Sealing can get the kill. Well, okay, I'm going to take damage, but it's not going to one-shot Sealing. So Sealing going in for the kill, and boss complete. These early bosses, not terrible. Most of the bosses really aren't too terrible, but especially, I mean, it's the early game. What do you expect? Our beasts have been trained pretty well. We're all gonna gain levels. Everyone reaches 14. Actually, we're almost close to being able to merge. We're gonna be able to start merging very soon, because it happens at 15. You pick up a ring to unlock the next series of things. You always get 3 rewards afterwards. One will usually be a sort of in-game thing that's more valuable, like an in-battle item. This one's more valuable, but not really any different as far as I know. Ups bug strength. We don't really have a bug, so that doesn't help us, and usually get like a star of some sort. Q-gems will be able to sell for quite a lot. So that's how that works. You get yourself the key spore. We'll go ahead and get to the next area, or the next the exit, and we will be done with the wind area officially. We are officially done with wind. Pretty exciting. So, to wrap up this episode, I guess I'm gonna quickly go ahead and we're not gonna wind shell. Basically, in order to exit, we need to go ahead to the next one. Then we'll just, hey, some goodie right in front of us. I'll take it. But we'll go ahead and just do some cleanup now. We're gonna head back to the temple. I'm gonna turn in the Kalma that I've gotten in this episode. There is that one Kalma we never found, and I do want to try to pick that one up. So I might head in there, to, back in the Wind Forest to do that. I'm not sure if maybe I'll just do it at the start of next episode, because we are running at like 26 minutes already, and all this cleanup and stuff is going to take a couple minutes on top of that, so it might be start of next episode that we do that.
Good job. Well then, come this way.
We got a Kalma! Alright. So, blah blah blah, Beast Hunter. You need these to create, you know, it's all about merging really is what these will do. You'll see when we actually start merging, which will be happening soon. So this one's actually pretty good because it gives you an extra 10 strength, which early game is a very big increase. So that's actually kind of useful. Might be worth giving to someone. Confuse is cool and all, but extra damage on just attacking a certain type of Divine Beast, not really the best reward. A Spirit up 15, pretty good, but I don't really have anyone that uses magic yet. I will though. You do get some money for doing that. You also get some reputation, depending on the Divine Beast. I definitely want to get more, so I can, more Kalma, so I can get, even more goodies, but that'll happen later on. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna turn in our reward.
You know, we finished the job we took, but how do we report?
We do it now. Why would... Oh goody! We don't have enough room in our inventory. Well, that's okay. I need to go here and sell stuff regardless. So, by the way, that Caltrap thing that ups bug strength, basically you get items, certain items that will up the stats for certain types of Divine Beasts. So if we ever get eventually get a bug, and I do intend to eventually get a bug, we will use it there. So we're going to sell all our stones, because that's all they're really used for. I'll free up my inventory. I'm going to probably put the rest of this stuff in my... I'll do a lot of shopping off... Oh wait, we have 625 already? Well, that was quick. We can actually buy... our next item slot upgrade, the pouch, which will let us carry 5 more items. The next one, as you can see, is 2,500. We're not going to be getting that for quite a while. These early levels do not tend to give you much, they don't tend to give you much money, because early levels in RPGs usually tend to not give you much money. That's how RPGs work. But let's finally turn in our stuff.
You know,
Yeah, I heard you the first time, Nico.
How's the job going? Going well?
You have a crazy voice.
I finished. Sorry to make you wait.
Really? I'm so glad. Okay, here's your reward.
So,
Thank you.
reward! We get our books and some reputation. Not really much of a reward, but it's cool to get those. And they'll also give more options in the shop. I may as well show that as well. Do we have anything useful? This one's an Earth Erosion. This one's going to be in the water area probably, and this one's going to also probably be in the Earth Formation. Which doesn't really help because I... Oh, by the way, I guess I could show this off. There are certain other ones that are always going to be taken by someone else, so... And also they'll usually be posted by someone special, so... Usually just kind of like lore quests in there among the quests you can actually take. So, that's kind of cool. Anyways, I guess that's really all for this episode. I know how I still have to get the Kalma I left in the wind shelter, but I might throw this at the end of this episode, or I may, I'll probably just do it at the beginning of the next episode. I'll just start when I find it, and we'll just go from there, because it shouldn't take too long to do all that. So, in the next episode, guys, we're going to do that, and then we're going to start the next forest. Trying to think of which one I'm going to do. Probably going to be the Fire Forest. Probably. Either that or the Earth Forest. I might do that one as well. Actually, it's probably going to be the Earth Forest, but we'll see. We'll see in the next episode, because I can take a quest in the Earth Forest, and those are always going to do. But we will see, like I said, in the next episode. LuckySevenDX signing out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.